Look, on the internet, you have different circles for people who want to commit suicide. Yeah, there are communities where they encourage each other. Now, you said a person who commits suicide. You said that that's a wise person. A less wise person is satisfied by drugs. A wise person, he's searching for the meaning of life and the way he sees it, according to his intellectual capacity, according to everything that he has. He doesn't see, because life, the way it is, it's purposeless. There's no justification for its existence. And really, happier is he who was not born. But that's not in my control. I didn't choose to be born. And whoever was born, poor guy, either he suffers in life because he doesn't ask the question about the meaning of life enough, and therefore he doesn't have the strength to be over with it and that's it, or he does ask himself, he is researching the matter, and he decides to end it all. A person who commits suicide is a strong person. I'd say that he's a rational person. Because according to the way we see life, why get into it? And if I got into it, let's get out of it. And getting out of it, there's just one solution for it. So, you said that a wise, rational, strong person commits suicide. When we see that someone commits suicide, we don't see that they're wise, rational. We see that they're weak, irrational, making a very stupid move, saying, "Goodbye, I'm leaving the party." I'll tell you why. Because that person doesn't want to continue living life like you do, where you are entirely living a completely drugged life. What do you mean? You're constantly using drugs. How? You're all drugged. Drugged how? By drugs. Which drugs? Why do you think that you feel good, that you're happy, that it's worthwhile living? Don't you feel that you're all the time getting some kind of a drug? It's in the air, in the atmosphere. There's a kind of a gas, a gladdening gas maybe. Or where do I take the joy from? Where do I take the strength to survive from, to keep on living? Probably I'm given some kind of a drug, because rationally wise, I was supposed to commit suicide. This is how someone who wants to commit suicide looks at me. This is how they look at the 7 billion people in the world. He can't stand seeing what a drugged life you live, that you're living in this big cloud, the air that's around our planet, that is constantly giving you a kind of an illusion that it is worthwhile living. You're drugged the way he sees it. So in the eyes of a suicider, I'm crazy, and everyone else is. Besides the community that he found on the internet, guys that are encouraging each other to commit suicide. I don't know about that. There are such sites. But you're asking me about the community, this I don't know. No, I'm talking from his perspective. This is his perspective. That everyone else is crazy. Yes. How do you look at people that take drugs? That they chose to disconnect. So you are too disconnected from truth. That life is black. That life is purposeless, useless. You mentioned this word a few times. What does it mean that he feels that life is useless? He feels that life, the way it was given to him here and now, it's useless. Can you explain that? I don't enjoy life. I don't see anyone enjoying it. I don't see a purpose in life which justifies all this suffering and all these actions that I'm doing, taking. And why live life altogether? If you're telling me to get up in the morning and you'll survive till the evening, and you're passing these hours, each and every second of the hour, you have a justification to why to continue it. You have a justification. Then he'll say, fine, Good that you told me. Thank you for opening my eyes. I didn't know that there is a purpose to my existence. But if you get up in the morning and you drag yourself through the day till the night, cursing everyone, including this life, and you're only trying to rid yourself of different problems, and good, I'm alive. Alive how? I'm in bed for a few hours. Ooh, alarm clock. I have to get up, run. That's life. What for? Why? Is it rational? Explain. How? That you're living for your offsprings, that you have 4 kids, and you have to all the time live for them, like an ant that's working that way, that's working with its offsprings that way, taking care of their eggs all the time. I'm asking you, how are you better than ants with their eggs? They look at you that you're drugged. You're drugged. Poor guy. You're a slave of nature, and this is how you were made, like an ant. So you live your life this way. I can't. Going back to the perspective of the therapists, parents, friends, they judge a person who can't enjoy things anymore. How can that be? Look, everything's beautiful, birds singing, sun shining. Miss, you're talking about them as if they're stupid. I look at you as if you're stupid. What do you want to sell me? This beautiful scene. Look, the music. Look how nice this. What a nice ball. Play ball. I don't want to play ball. What does he want to play? I want to know what is the meaning of life. Okay, so let's move from the theoretical to the practical side. If, God forbid, tomorrow, someone really close to me finds himself in this emotional state we described in the beginning, I understand now that he has full justification, he's very rational, wise, deep in terms of his attitude towards life. Yes, if God forbid I know such a person that is on the way to crash. You previously said that there is the turning point. Were you to give him some kind of a justification for their existence, that would be the only thing that could answer that place where a person feels lack of purpose. So what justification can I give that person? You can't. All these therapists, no, I'm not talking about the therapist. I'm talking about you. If you see, God forbid, a relative of yours in this distress, how will you justify his life? Only if I have the meaning of life can I open his eyes. Suppose I'm in this state and you have the meaning of life. So if you have a question about the meaning of life, I have no question. I am a second before committing suicide. I am in the... No. I'm sorry, but you're probably not going through this state. I know what it feels like, and therefore I'm telling you what you're saying is incorrect. A person before committing suicide, a person who decided to commit suicide because their life has no meaning. Wait a second. There are other reasons to commit suicide? Of course there are. We'll talk about that separately. Betrayal. His wife betrayed him. Shame. He was caught doing something. Okay, we'll talk about that separately. He decided to commit suicide because life is meaningless. How will you turn to me? I'll explain that there is a meaning to life. What is it? The meaning of life. To reach life. That after our life, you don't have to die for that. After our life, there is such a form of life that you can open up for yourself and live in it. Our life has a meaning. No one knows it. Only few people that undergo such a crisis, like you're saying, that they ask themselves, what is the meaning of life? Because otherwise it's not worthwhile living. I can't survive. It's not worthwhile investing anything in this life. I don't wanna. I don't have the strength for it. I scorn this life. I hate it. I can't take it anymore. Not because I'm weak in character or something, but because there's no positive outcome to my self-scrutiny. only negative things. And therefore, I commit suicide. So how will you stop me? When a person comes and tells you, wait a moment, let's talk. I'll solve your problem. Are you really looking for a meaning in life? A real purpose, a real meaning in life? Yes. So let's see, what can it be? And then you open that person's eyes that this is really how our life is, in order to bring everyone to despair, everyone to want to commit suicide, everyone to stop this miserable existence of ours on earth altogether. But at the end, when people reach that despair, when there's a real cry, like a kind of I don't know, like a black light that's really swallowing everyone up, black hole, then from there, actually, they start feeling that an opening opens up for a new life, for a new meaning, not to simply fulfill their animalistic life, their short animalistic life, and the despised form in which they are. Even animals wouldn't agree to what human beings agree with to do in order to survive, paying for it with their vigor, with their thoughts, with their exertion. For what? In order to keep their animalistic body alive. And what's the alternative? You shall see your world in your lifetime. Specifically after this crisis, there is a birth into a new, enlightened world. That's how it is. But without crossing this point of crisis, the translation of the word crisis is a new birth, and without going through that, you can't. And therefore we have to take of these despaired people, those who are despaired of finding the true meaning of life. We have to take care of them. These are people who are very precious. Precious. They acquire the deficiency with which humanity will continue to a new degree beyond this darkness. There is life beyond the darkness. That's where life is.